Coming up, a former congressperson visited the UTRGV campus challenging students to prove her wrong.
She talks about not wanting to divide, but it's very dividing.
Plus, after the government shutdown, what are some alternative ways to get food? We'll tell you in minutes.
And women's basketball has released its fall 2025-2026 season schedule. We'll show you that and more.
KVAQ-TV starts now. Good morning, vaqueros. I'm Dayton Tervino.
And I'm Desiree Villanueva. Today is Monday, November 3rd, and this is the 10th fall edition of KVAQ-TV.
Let's start today off with our top story.
Former U.S. Republican Congressperson Mayra Flores arrived at UTRGV to debate students in a Charlie Kirk-like event, the Prove Me Wrong series.
Multimedia journalist Ian Juarez with the story.
I'm here at the building where dozens of students showed up to debate former Republican Congresswoman Mayra Flores and to hear what she and other students had to say. Prove me wrong. That was Mayra Flores' tagline for her debate last Tuesday. The event, hosted by the RGV College Republicans and Turning Point USA at UTRGV, was held to hear, quote, all sides of the aisle, according to the organization's president, Alexis Uscanga.
I think that even though Turning Point is more conservative, we want people to have their voice heard. And I believe that's exactly what we did here. I think people felt like they could finally have a conversation with a representative because it's very hard to talk to your elected officials, even a former one like former Congresswoman Mayra Flores.
Students from all sides of the political spectrum showed up in front of the Robert C. Vacker College of Business and Entrepreneurship building to go to the event. One biology junior, Kai, had the chance to debate Flores and says they think the debate should not be a contest of whoever's the loudest wins.
She talks about not wanting to divide, but it's very dividing to insult the people who come up to you, interrupt them, not let them talk. And I would really love to have a productive conversation with her, but she wanted a news story. I don't want a news story. I wanted to talk.
Political science junior Miranda Barajas speaks on the impact of Flores' presence on campus.
And I think it's so important for even people like as hateful as Mayra to come here to have some dialogue, because without dialogue, there's no knowledge, and if there's no knowledge, we're completely messed up for the future.
Some members of the crowd were vocal about their beliefs, shouting comments such as,
President's a fucking rapist!
All right, and in America, an American has that right. And so,
marking freshman Noah Cortez criticized the students who were shouting.
I love hearing both sides. It's just, a lot of people who are against the Republicans, right now, they're kind of shouting all these things, I love a good, clean debate as anyone else, but they're kind of getting mad, and it's like you're not proving your point the way you want it to, Yeah, especially as a Democrat, you're showing up a bad side, and you see it a lot in the news and media. Their facts are wrong.
After Flores' debate, she went on X stating the following: "Thank you to UTRGV Turning Point for having me at your Prove Me Wrong debate. It was a great opportunity to engage in respectful dialogue and share our perspectives. While we agreed to disagree, I will always stand firm in my support for my America First agenda. I believe in the work President Trump's administration is doing to make America great again. Looking forward to more conversations like this." For KVAQ-TV in Edinburgh, Ian Juarez.
Food benefits may have run dry, but there are a few ways to place food on the table. Agroecology Program Director Alex Rossellis shares some crops that are simple to grow. He recommends people start with kale leaves, as these can be planted throughout the year.
Individuals that highlight the diversity of crops that are grown here in the Rio Grande Valley. So behind us you see, for example, you'll see I believe that's a mulberry tree. You'll see some squash. There's some kale. You see some okra. There's going to be some broccoli over there. There's probably some different types of mustard greens that I see here, and a few pepper plants.
He says you can grow radishes or lettuce in 3 to 4 weeks. According to Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, crops such as kohlrabi, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower can be planted in November. Rosselli says to learn more about how to grow plants and crops, visit the RGV Growers Guide website.
Just in this Friday, 2 federal judges have issued out a federal order stating President Donald Trump must continue to fund SNAP using contingency funds, as reported by AP News. It is unclear when benefits will begin to roll out and how long those contingency funds will last. Visit our website for the latest. Speaking of solutions, The Harlingen Housing Authority has a community garden for its residents. Alec Rodriguez with more.
I am at the community garden here at the Los Vecinos apartments, where nearby residents can contribute and harvest their own crops. The Harlingen Housing Authority has had the community garden since 2016, starting with a garden in the Lemoyne Gardens apartment and later creating another one in the Los Vecinos apartment in 2017. Harlingen Housing Authority Chief Executive Officer Hilda Benavides explains how these gardens can help the residents.
It was the goal of it was to provide, home growing vegetables, having an herb garden, things like that, on teaching the families how to grow their own vegetables.
Residents near these gardens decide which crops are planted. Plants such as serrano peppers, tomatoes, cilantro, cauliflower, and jalapenos have been planted before. Benavides says the gardens were the effort of multiple partnerships with the city.
It's all through partnerships. So anything we do aside from helping families with rental assistance is through partnerships. So this one was actually started by the city of Harlingen. They had a healthy network group that wanted to start something at the different communities. So community gardens was what it started. And then we also got some funding from the Valley Baptist Legacy Foundation. And it wasn't actually money. They provided the supplies and the materials needed to start the garden.
Senior Property Manager Mary Prito says that the Harlingen Housing Authority has partnered up with the city of Harlingen to build the gardens to educate the families about eating healthy.
What they wanted to do is educate our families how to be healthy, how to stay healthy, health awareness, and the importance of getting their vegetables in and eating healthy, most of all, to avoid having all these diabetes, obesity, and just overall health issues that happen when you don't eat properly.
Prito explains that the gardens can help low-income elderly residents if the SNAP benefits they receive were not enough.
And they wanted to help the low-income families and the housing authorities because they get to grow their vegetables and keep their vegetables and eat them. And so that was sometimes whatever they get, their SNAP isn't enough, especially the elderly. So I know that when Ms. Rodriguez was with us, whatever additional vegetables we had, we would take to the elderly. And they were very happy about that.
For KVAQ-TV in Harlingen, Alec Rodriguez.
November marks Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. KVAQ-TV spoke with a group of UTRGV researchers who are working to create a new cancer diagnosis.
A group of UTRGV researchers are working on identifying molecules that can assist in diagnosing pancreatic cancer. The American Cancer Society states that pancreas is a small organ that sits behind the stomach, producing proteins involved in digestion. The most common form of pancreatic cancer is when the cells within the pancreas that make the proteins grow out of control. Director of South Texas Center of Excellence in Cancer Research, Dr. Subhas Chauhan, is leading the way for pancreatic cancer research at UTRGV. His team of researchers are working on methods to easily diagnose the cancer, as he says it's difficult to spot.
So if you want to do any imaging, then it is very difficult to just image pancreas because it is just surrounded by abdominal organs and then alimentary canal, and there are a lot of blood vessels.
Dr. Chauhan says they are in the early stages of the research, and the group is a few years away before any major breakthroughs. Assistant Professor of Radiation Oncology, Dr. Teresa Paliuca, explains that pancreatic cancer symptoms can be mistaken for other ailments, like pain in the upper abdomen and weight loss. Dr. Paliuca shares a few habits that may cause pancreatic cancer.
People who smoke, people who drink heavily, heavy alcohol use, can cause a benign inflammation of the pancreas.
Dr. Paliuca says the UT Health RGB Cancer and Surgery Center can help people at risk of the disease, as they offer imaging and endoscopies that can help in a diagnosis, although further tests are required. For KVAQ-TV in McAllen, Victor Ortega.
This week on KVAQ Sports, women's basketball prepares for the start of its 2025-2026 season.
What's up, Vaqueros? I'm Alex Rodriguez with your KVAQ Sports Update. Starting off with football, the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros, who was 6-2 overall and 2-2 in conference play as of Friday, are returning home this weekend after hitting the road Saturday against number 23 Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. This weekend, the team will clash against the Nicole State Colonels. Women's basketball tips off its season today with its home opener against St. Mary's at the UTRGV Fieldhouse. The team will stay home Friday to face Arlington Baptist. UTRGV Athletics announced the full promotional schedule for the season, and it all starts later today with its home opener, Monday Madness. The Vaqueros will face off against St. Mary's at the UTRGV Fieldhouse, marking the first game after the newly opened atrium. Monday Madness will return 8 times this season, each featuring a DJ, party lights, and glow sticks provided by Vaqueros outfitters to light up the gym. The Vaqueros are set up for a challenging season ahead with 22 Southland Conference games, facing each opponent twice, once at home, once on the road. 11 of these matchups will be right here at the UTRGV Fieldhouse before the team heads to Lake Charles, Louisiana for the Southland Conference Championships in March. KVAQ-TV visited the Vaqueros during one of its final practices before the home opener against St. Mary's. Head coach Lane Lord expresses his excitement for the new players.
We're going to have 14 ready to play the first game, and a lot of thanks to our strength staff and our trainers, but just want to see how we play together. It always looks good in practice, and then, when you play against somebody else and you get to find out your flaws early, and then you get to work on those and get ready for the next opponent. And we'll get to show the fans and show off our new atrium, and then, of course, our new team. And we're excited about this team.
With a packed schedule and high-energy home games, UTRGV women's basketball is ready to light up the court this season. Fans are encouraged to wear orange and show Vaquero pride. In swimming and diving, the Vaqueros were on the road Saturday, taking on the University of Montebello and hosts West Florida. Results available at goutrgrv.com. And in volleyball, the Vaqueros owned a 3-1 win over Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the South Texas Showdown, extending the Southland Conference streak to 9 straight victories. That's your KVAQ Sports Update. I'm Alex Rodriguez.
Thanks for watching, Vaqueros.
Catch our next newscast at 8:30 a.m. Monday, November 10th on VCast monitors and select social medias. For KVAQ-TV, Dathan Tervino.
And Desiree Villanova.
V's up!